Keep reading till the very end because these seldom images of Lucy Powell show a serene strength that is more apparent than it is. It is a combination of gentle smiles, thoughtful remarks, and steady hands that reduce anxieties to manageable steps. Imagine the opening frame, a small plant leaning toward the day, a short desk beside a window, morning light shining on it, and a yellow note that reads, "Call back, explain clearly," placed above a pile of letters from people who trusted her with their tales. The parent's expression begins tense and finishes softer, not because all of their concerns have been resolved, but rather because being heard is a form of breathing. Jobs and dreams, while a youth club portrait is displayed on a cluttered table with craft paper and glue. Lucy asks brief, straightforward questions that help to clarify the way forward, then a candid shot in a rainy street with an umbrella that refuses to open. She smiles at the little conflict and continues, her shoes soaking. A straightforward picture that conveys grit without using words. Another photo shows a conversation regarding house forms that resemble mazes in a cafe. Lucy flips the paper, puts a box around the first step, and writes, "Start here." The person on the other side of the table exhales deeply and quietly. In a lovely image, a student with trembling hands reads a brief speech during a school assembly. She claps loudly and early, and the room follows, instantly transforming the trembling into pride. The image is commonplace, which is why it matters. It features a small puppy that appears to be running the street, a greeting at the gate, a snapshot taken from the doorstep with leaflets held tightly against the wind, and a brief jest with a postman. Another picture depicts a community hall with plastic chairs, a whiteboard that reads buses, safer streets, fare bills, and Lucy underlining the words people raised, not the phrases she brought, so everyone understands their voice impacted the plan. She examines a list on her phone with that contemplative expression individuals get when they are exhausted but not finished. And a late-night office shot features empty glasses and a crumpled biscuit wrapper. She separates the problem into 3 parts, speaks carefully, and you can practically hear the room tilt from dread to attentiveness. At a small business roundtable, you see pens tapping and forehead lines deep with cost anxieties. Another unusual frame depicts a library corner, a child pointing to a book with a bright cover, and Lucy bending to hear the joyful stream of words. She helps the team. She writes down the dates and nods as if she were repairing a bolt that has to hold, as shown in a food bank photo. A image shows an elderly neighbor carrying a folder of notes to a park seat. Lucy carefully flips over each page as though each line is a thread in a larger net that protects individuals. In a different image, a teenager holds up a phone while she looks at the screen, asks where the worst spot is, and writes it down in large letters. She is seen joking with a driver who is waiting for a runner across the street in a bus stop photo. This tiny gesture prevented a day from going completely wrong, and the smile she was wearing at the time is evidence that kindness truly works. The final group photo is colorful and chaotic, with neighbors and volunteers crammed into the frame and Lucy in the center, not as the hero, but as the glue holding the shape together. When viewed side by side, these pictures convey a straightforward message. True care is steady and quiet. It prioritizes needs above celebrity. In order for us to continue providing you with frank tales that elevate common voices, please watch through to the end. Hit subscribe, like this video, and share the moment that most affected you in the comments.